Hello, my little bottles of Xanax, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Megan, and I'm a mental health professional with crippling health anxiety. Welcome. Welcome to my mess. Today, we are going to talk about a game that I like to play sometimes called Is It a Heart Attack, a Stroke, or Just My Anxiety? That's right. I never know if I'm having a heart attack, a stroke, or just an anxiety attack. But I will tell you the details why I think that lately, especially, and also why I now am ready to accept that it probably is just anxiety. So buckle in, look at these super clean countertops. This never is ever how my video starts. Normally, when I start with the overview of my kitchen, the countertops are horrifically cluttered. But today, they're still clean from last week. So good job to me. That is a positive in my life. But the negative is here. I mean, it's a positive because it means I have enough food for my family. So that's a blessing. But look at how cluttered it is. Yup, that's a lot to handle. Also, these cabinets are a lot to handle. So there's that. And this last cabinet is so full that the things are trying to get out and I can't even close the door. So anyway, enough about my house. Let's talk about me. So sorry, I'm in a really weird mood. But a good mood, a good mood. I'm feeling much better today. So that is the spoiler alert. I'm feeling much better today. If you were watching last week, my husband and I, here's the update on our lives. My husband and I had a great conversation. My son, if you haven't seen my last short, my son took the garbage out without even being asked. Like a miracle occurred. Also, for anybody who was confused by that short, it was a joke. I am still very much an atheist, so don't worry if you are worried. But it was a small miracle, and I am appreciative of whoever inspired him to take the garbage out. So I'm excited about that. This is his bathroom. It's not terrible, so that's great. I think the theme of my house this week is it was not terrible. Like things didn't take that long to clean up. We clean up my daughter's room pretty quickly. We even had enough time to go to the farmer's market in famous historic downtown Woodstock. So I'll show you that. That is Amelia's brand new backpack because she started daycare this week. That's incredible. She did great. Today I'm recording the voiceover on Tuesday, and Monday she did wonderful in her class and she made new friends and she had a lot of fun. So I am very optimistic and hopeful about that. And the big spoiler is that I think I actually do just have health anxiety and probably not a heart attack. But let me tell you why I think I had a heart attack, or I thought I think why I think I thought I had why okay. Why I thought I had a heart attack. No. I know I didn't, but I might have. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. You might be asking yourself, Megan, how are you not sure if you had a heart attack? Let me tell you the story. So once upon a time, I went to the emergency room twice in 1 month. And both of those times they did ECGs on me where they hook you up with all the little sticky things on your torso and they track your heart. Basically, they see what your heart is up to. And apparently on both of those occasions, there was something in those readings from that test that showed that I had possible past damage to my heart. And according to Google, the way I'll show you what it actually said, but according to Google and ChatGPT, what those words mean in plain English is that I could have possibly had a small heart attack at some unknown time in the past. I wasn't showing that I was currently having a heart attack in the ER, but there was some abnormality in the reading, in my rhythm or whatever. And so they suspected that there was some damage to my heart. And why did I just freak out about this recently? Well, because they sent me an email with this result. I guess when I was in the hospital, the ER doctor looked at the reading or the strip or whatever and was like, okay, you're fine. But when the cardiologist reviewed it after it had already been discharged, they decided that that's what was going on, was that there was something in the past that had maybe happened that caused damage or some abnormality. If you know me, this was an immediate ticket, like immediate one-way ticket to Spiral Town, like anxiety Spiral Town. Because one of my worst fears, like number 2 fear, is a heart attack. Number 1 is a stroke, obviously. Number 2, heart attack. So to have this information emailed to me several weeks after the fact was not great. Not great. So the entire day yesterday, I felt terrified. I was spiraling out of control. After my walk in the morning, because I take a walk every morning, after my walk, I had a sudden pain under my left shoulder blade in the back, which I don't know if you've ever Googled heart attack symptoms for women, but I'll give you one guess about what one of those symptoms is. And if you guessed pain in your back or shoulder, you would be correct. You would be absolutely right. So all day yesterday, I was panicking. I was going back and forth about whether or not I needed to go to the emergency room again. I was conjuring up jaw pain, like phantom jaw pains, which is another symptom of heart attacks in women. And I was not in a good place mentally. Okay. Oh, there's Mortimer the Rat. We should play Find Mortimer the Rat in every video because he's always in a different place. But there he was today in my daughter's kitchen. Oh, and here's beautiful, historic downtown Woodstock, Illinois. This is, we're about to see the gazebo in the middle. If you are familiar with Bill Murray's movie Groundhog Day, it might look familiar to you because this is where it was filmed, was right here. This was such a gorgeous day. And Amelia was really happy because she got her donuts. I know she doesn't look really happy, but she was, I promise. Yeah. I got some donuts too. On this day that you're seeing, on this Saturday, I did not think I was having a heart attack yet, so I was really just enjoying myself. I didn't know yet that I may have had one in the past, so I wasn't spiraling. So I'm just showing you around the farmer's market, and I'm going to show you a really cool store that has candy cigarettes in it. I'll show you in a minute, which I didn't know it was even legal to sell candy cigarettes anymore because I feel like that's a no-no. Like you shouldn't be encouraging smoking in children. I know it's not real smoking. Fun fact, when I was in 2nd grade, my parents let me walk across a major street with my friend alone to a convenience store where we bought bubblegum cigarettes. That was not safe. I was 6 years old. So anyway, shame on my parents. I don't even know if they knew. Maybe my neighbor's parents let us go. Who knows? I don't know. But in any case, we survived. So I guess it's not that bad. But where was I with my health? Yeah. So right? My heart attack issues. So I got that information. I started spiraling. I started freaking out. Immediately made an appointment with a cardiologist, of course. There's the candy cigarettes. But of course you can't get in, you can't just like waltz into a cardiology office on a Sunday, right? You need to wait and wait for an appointment. So that appointment isn't going to be until like September 2nd or something. Meanwhile, I also sent a message in my my chart to my doctor, my primary doctor, and I was like, hey guy, take a look at this that your colleague wrote down in my chart. What do you think? What do you think I've had a heart attack? Do you think I should be concerned? Or is this another just silliness that I should ignore and pretend like it's just my anxiety? Oh, there's the flowers I got at the farmer's market. And here's some cute little dogs that look really guilty for no reason. I don't know why they look guilty. They didn't do anything at that moment. And so my doctor got back to me this morning and he was like, um, probably it was a mistake. Probably it was a false alarm. You're probably fine. You maybe don't need to go to the cardiologist, but come back and see me as soon as possible. And we'll do another ECG and see if it says the same thing or if if you're in the clear. So either way, if he can get me in the next 2 weeks, I will see him and get my ECG with him. If he can't get me in the next 2 weeks because he's very popular, then I will see the cardiologist and get an ECG with the cardiologist. But either way, I am going to follow up on it because that is not something I'm just going to let lie, right? That's pretty serious. And it showed up on 2 separate ECGs 2 weeks apart. So I am concerned. But I think the problem is when you have health anxiety, it goes from a mild concern, like what my doctor was saying, well, it's probably nothing, but we can follow up. I feel like that's probably the appropriate level of anxiety I should have. But what's happening instead, because I have severe health anxiety that pops up every once in a while, is that I have now been spiraling for a couple of days. Now, like I said in my spoiler alert, sorry, that's my coffee cup. Like I said in my spoiler alert, I am feeling fine right now, but only because I found this beautiful, beautiful, calming woman not on Facebook. Wow. No, I found her on YouTube yesterday, and she is a therapist who focuses specifically on health anxiety. And she is also somebody who experienced severe health anxiety for a few years until she got, she was able to snap herself out of it. And so I started watching some of her videos and I realized most of my problems right now are probably due to health anxiety and not a physiological chronic condition, right? So all of my rashes, my my itching, my heart palpitations, my high blood pressure, my fear of having a heart attack, all of these things, while I am seeing physical manifestations, right? I can take my blood pressure 6 times a day and it will be high. Oh, Amelia was playing with the tripod. I can objectively take my blood pressure and the numbers will be high, right? I can check my pulse 400 times a day on my Apple Watch and it will be high, right? I can, see a rash. I can feel itching. I can see my eyeball swelling, right? The skin around my eye swelling. Those are all physical manifestations, right? There's no denying that these things have happened, right? Or are happening at different times. However, much like if you have followed me for a little while, you've heard the story that I told where when I got super stressed, my back goes out sometimes, occasionally. And again, that is a physical situation. It is real, right? It is a real thing. I'm not making it up. But it is probably because of my high anxiety, right? And so I started watching this beautiful woman. She's so I call her that because she's physically beautiful, but also because she's just lovely to listen to. And maybe I'll put a clip in here of something that she said that really struck me. But
if you are still Googling your symptoms, going on ChatGPT for answers, using Facebook support pages, Mumsnet, Reddit, all of that, it's got to go. It has to go because the more you search for answers, the more problems you will find. Period. And I will argue that until I am blue in the face. You will find more problems than answers, 100%. And you have to stop. If you want to get your health anxiety under control, you have to stop with the constant need to problem solve. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not. I know that we get into this mentality of feeling like it's the right and the responsible thing to do, that we've got to be our own advocate, and that we just have to do it. You know, we have this overwhelming urge. But just like any addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, gambling, there comes a point where we have to build on our own inner willpower to say, this isn't good for me. This isn't healthy for me. And all it's doing is destroying my mental health.
The long and short of it is, the truth of the matter of health anxiety is that eventually you just have to stop it, right? Like she said, you just have to stop it.
Stop it.
So I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening.
It is.
Then stop it.
And that is really like oversimplifying things, I think, because it's not easy to do, right? Like, to tell somebody to just stop it sounds almost cruel, right? Because like, if you could stop it, you would, is what you would think. But I think it really can be that simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. Like, you do have to just stop. Like, you have to make a choice to stop. And so yesterday, as I was having all of these symptoms and feeling a certain way and being anxious and like obsessing over my body and checking my pulse all day and checking my blood pressure over and over again, eventually, after I heard her speak, I was like, oh, I'm not allowed to Google anymore. I'm not allowed to chat GPT anymore. I'm not allowed to check my pulse anymore. Like, all of these like compulsions, I guess it's very similar to OCD. All of these compulsions and obsessions are exacerbating my physical symptoms, right? And honestly, I swear to you, as soon as I made that decision, I felt better. Instantly, physically, I felt better. And today, I have no pain in my back. No pain in my back. No headache, no pressure, no nothing. I did take my blood pressure this morning, just because I do need to keep track of it on some level, right? Because I take medication for my blood pressure. And I do want to make sure that it's going back to normal, you know, because I take medication. Like, I need to know if it's the right dose of medication, if it's the appropriate medication, whatever. So I did check it this morning, and it was fine. It was fine. It was totally normal. So I have to stop it. I have to stop it. I have to calm down and stop it. Which, this is so embarrassing as a mental health professional, which I also get really embarrassed every time I go to my doctor, because he knows what I do for a living, and he's about my same age, and he's just like a nice, normal guy, right? And so I feel embarrassed when I go to the doctor and I'm like, hey, I don't know if I'm losing my mind or if I'm going to die for real. Like, can you help me? And he's always very kind. He's never said a negative thing. He's never been rude or dismissive to me, which I really appreciate. But it still is embarrassing, just for me personally, because I feel like I should know better. Like, I shouldn't have let it get this far, right? Like, so today I have, right, the understanding that this is all probably because of my extreme anxiety and I need to stop it. But why didn't I realize that last week? Or why didn't I realize that last month, right? When I was sobbing and like in so much distress. And I think because it's really easy to go into like this all or nothing thinking, this black and white thinking, where it's like last month, like, okay, yes, I did have a physical issue happening, right? My eye was objectively swollen, right? There was a very physical thing happening. I needed medication to address it and take care of it. But then what happened was, instead of accepting, right? Like, okay, I'm going to take this medication. I might not feel well for a little while. I might feel funny. This medication is going to make me feel kind of weird. And then I'm going to feel better later. Like, it might take a few weeks and then I'll feel better. Instead of just like having that be the story that I continued to tell myself, I chose to allow myself to spiral, right? To watch 400 YouTube videos about the side effects of prednisone, right? If you have any questions about prednisone, I can answer them for you now, because I have literally watched 400 videos about the side effects and negative effects of prednisone, okay? Now, I'm glad that I watched some of those videos because it helped me to create a tapering off schedule that made the withdrawal symptoms almost nothing, right? Like, I was able to make a better choice about how I was going to come off of that medication because of some of that information. And I think that was successful. Oh, she fell asleep right away. But did I need to watch all of those videos? Did I need to obsess about it? Did I need to think that every single little twinge in my body, or every time I felt kind of foggy, or every time I felt tired, or every time, you know, I had a headache or my blood pressure was high, that, oh my gosh, the prednisone, is it the prednisone? Is it whatever? Oh, there was a thunder and lightning storm, and everybody just wanted to be in the bed with me because they were scared of the thunder. You can kind of see the lightning in a second, maybe. There it is. Yep. Anyway, there was a lot going on. But, oh, and here's the next day. I really needed to clean out my car. There's the donut remnants. Anyway, so I'm going to clean out the car. But did I really need to obsess over every single thing to the point where that was all I could think about and that was all I could talk about, and to the point where my husband was literally like rolling his eyes at me, right? No, I probably didn't. And you know, it's funny, right? Like, in those moments, I would get really upset, like, that my husband wasn't being supportive, right? But what did I want? What did I want? Did I want him to tell me I was fine? No, because I didn't feel fine. Did I want him to validate me and say, oh my gosh, yeah, like, I'm so glad you watched those 400 videos and now you know how to taper your prednisone. Like, good job, Megan. Like, what do I want? What do I want? I don't know. I don't know what I wanted. I think I wanted to not feel crazy. But the problem with looking to other people for validation and to tell you you're not crazy is that when you sound crazy, they can't give that to you. You know, I think looking back, I did sound crazy. I felt crazy, right? Like, I know crazy is not like a good clinical term. It's not very like politically correct, but I felt unstable, and I probably sounded super unstable. And that is why I'm afraid every time I go to the doctor that they're going to see me that way, right? That they're going to look at me and be like, oh, geez, here we are again. In fact, yesterday when I went to the allergist, I don't know if I made this up in my head or if I really heard it, but when I went in to see the allergist, because I do need to get my allergy situation taken care of, like, whether it's stress related or not, like, there's something going on physically. So I went to the allergist yesterday, And I walked in, and the assistant, the medical assistant, was like, "Oh, you can put your stuff over here on this chair before you sit down." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm just going to keep my phone with me, though, because I have some notes," right? Like, I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget anything. The car is kind of clean, but I didn't have time to vacuum it. So I told her, I just said it like that. I was like, "Oh, I'm just going to keep my phone with me, though, because I have some notes." And then so she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she turns around, she walks out, she closes the door behind her, and said, like, or before she closed the door, she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get the doctor." So she closes the door behind her. Oh, I was making Amari's bed because he went on a fishing trip with his friend, and this was the only time that he's not in his room. So I washed his bedding, and I made his bed for him so that he could have a nice clean bed when he got home from his camping trip. And he took a shower first before he laid down in it. I was very happy. I was like, "Don't you dare lay down after not showering for 3 days." He's such a boy. He's like, "No, boy, whatever. Like, none of us showered. Who cares?" But anyway, he did great. I'm so happy he enjoys fishing. Like, that's such a good outdoor hobby. But let me finish the story. So the lady said something along the lines after she closed the door. It sounded like she said, "Oh, she has notes," right? Like sarcastic, like, "Oh, good luck with this one. Like, she's going to take a while." And it just felt so invalidating. I don't know if she said it or not. I don't know if I was hallucinating. Who knows? But that's what I thought I heard, and it was really upsetting. But the doctor was really nice. I'm getting some blood work done. Hopefully I'll have some answers about my allergies soon. And the good news overall is that I'm feeling really good today, and I feel better, and I acknowledge that it is anxiety, and I'm not having a heart attack. Guys, I don't know if I did or not, but I'm not currently. So you're welcome, and I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.